What is up, guys? Welcome everyone to a new wolf making video. So in this one, I'm gonna be showing you what I think is one of the most interesting Transmog gold farms that you can do at the moment. Because in this one, you are not gonna be hunting for like a few valuable items, as it's usually the common thing with these farms. In this one, you're actually gonna be hunting for a huge variety of items. Like I'm talking more than 100 items that you can get, and all of them are relatively valuable on the auction house, right? So this is the type of farm that if you're looking to put a good amount of hours, every few days or even every day, this is going to be quite good because it's going to be quite hard to saturate the entire market, right? Even if you're on a small realm, right? Because the variety of items that you're going to be getting is going to be way too big, right? So first of all, I'm going to show you some of the items that we can get here. I'm not going to show you all of them because there are just way too many, right? The video will be too long. But yeah, now all the items that I'm going to mention in here, and a lot of them more, uh, basically all of them are either unique appearances or they are items that they are sharing the appearance with some item that's really hard to get, right? Some rare item or some epic item, right? So we have this Whelpling, this battle pet. I think it looks really nice. There's no other Whelpling pet that looks even close to this one, so this one's really special. Then we have some Transmog item, these robes, these shoulders. We have this blade as well. This one, I think it's by far one of the favorites in this farm by pretty much everyone. Sells really well for being an old item, and of course sells for a good price. Then we have the belt as well. We have this book, which as you can see looks really nice for like a warlock or a or maybe a priest or something like that, shadow priest. And then we have some other battle pets which are going for cheaper prices. Yeah. Now the prices, well, the prices first of all they are going to vary a lot from one realm to another. But generally speaking, the prices are going to be higher in most of the realms, right? Because I'm in a realm that is basically the most populated one for the Horde in the US region. So, the amount of competition here, and generally speaking, the prices are really low. Well, the prices are low, the competition is high. That's what I wanted to say. And yeah, so, these are just some examples, but prices are going to vary a lot from one realm to another, right? What is not going to vary though is that most of these items are going to stay to be valuable and they're going to stay to have at least some decent price, right? So first of all, I'm going to show you where this is located. This is a bit tricky because it varies depending of if you are on the Alliance or on the Horde. So in my case, I'm on the Horde. What you're going to do if you're on the Horde, you're going to take a portal from Orgrimmar to Zuldathar. And you're going to appear here. And you just have to walk a bit here and you're going to be able to come to this place. And in this place, you're going to be able to talk with this NPC here that is going to allow you to do to enter the farm that we're going to be doing, which is island expeditions, right? Now, what you need to know is that there's an NPC for getting into the islands, and there's usually really close some NPCs that they are going to allow you to buy some of these salvages, which are the items that you can buy with the seafarer doubloons, which are the currency that we're gonna get while doing the island expeditions, right? So I'm gonna show you where this is located on the Alliance. You will take a portal to Volarus, which is like the Alliance side of the Battle for Azeroth expansion area, and you wanna come here to Volarus here in Tiragar the South, and in here there's gonna be around here approximately there's gonna be some NPC which is gonna allow you to enter the, the island expeditions, and there's gonna be some vendors really close as well, right? It's around here. Can't really show you because I'm just on the Horde, but yeah. So anyways, I'm gonna show you how to run one of these island expeditions. You can do this solo, gonna be completely fine. But what you can also do is you can go to the group finder, you can go to previous groups, go to custom, and in here you can say something like island expeditions gold farm. I think a mistake that a lot of people do is whenever they make some sort of farm, they don't specify what the farm is about, right? So if you say island expeditions farm, most people are not even gonna know what is it about. But as long as you put gold farm, then some people are gonna join, even if they don't know, what are these these island expeditions, right? Well, the best thing about this is that you don't require any quest line. It used to be like that in the past. You will need to require like have done the campaign of BFA of the Basel for Azeroth expansion, but as of now, you don't require anything. You just come here and start doing it, right? Yeah, so let's do one of it, and then I'm gonna, this way you can see how it's done. So basically the goal in these islands is to get the max amount of Azerite. And once you reach a number of Azerite, you are just gonna basically end the island and you're gonna be given some of the currency that we are looking for, right? Now, one thing that you need to know is that you need to go on the mythic version. The reason is that, first of all, you're gonna kill the mobs instantly, regardless, even if they are on mythic, and the amount of the currency that you're gonna get for the savages is gonna be higher, right? So there's no questions, you're always gonna do mythics, right? So as you can see, you can basically Kwewe, and it's kind of tricky because it might seem like it's looking for a group, but not really, you know? You're not really looking for a group, you're doing this alone. If you wanna look for a group, you have to go to the group finder and create a group manually, right? But you know, the Azerite is shared between all the players, so if you have more players doing this, you're gonna do this much more efficiently. But yeah. Sometimes this sign will appear automatically, it's kind of bugged a bit, but you just click on cancel and move on. And you have to wait a bit until the timer is out, right? So as you can see, there are this type of islands. Now, there are a few ways you can get these this Azerite. You can basically kill enemies, which is the simplest way. And this type of things that you are seeing here, like these things, these sort of strange buildings or rocks or whatever, they are called Azerite crystals. You can come close to them and you can mine them, and you don't require mining, by the way. You don't require any professions for this. They will just allow you to mine them regardless, right? So you just kill enemies. As you can see, they're giving me some Azerite, and there's also some chests which they have around usually, and you can go and open the chests for the Azerite, right? Now, something that you need to know is that the items, the enemies, while you kill them, they are not really dropping any loot, right? So just basically don't double check if they are dropping any loot. They just don't drop any loot. The way to get the actual items is you will farm the currency here, and then you can get some of the savages, and then the savages are gonna drop you the items that are valuable on the outer house, right? Okay, whenever you see one of these things, this is an Azerite extractor. You can click on it. It's gonna activate it, and then you can just move on, right? This is gonna generate you some Azerite as well. Sort of passive income thing. You just leave it and then you move on. Whenever you see any of these tiny balls, these are Azerite energy balls that you can just go through them, and they should give you some Azerite as well. There are also some items that you can activate. They have like some active, but basically they don't really matter because they are mostly for doing like damage or stunning enemies, and you just instantly kill them, right? So yeah. Well, something worth mentioning is that basically, you know, the more scary the mobs look, right, is the ones you want to focus, right? Simple as that. And also anything that looks with this type of color, right? This type of strange, electricity, energy color, whatever you're gonna call it, these are Azerite. And anytime that you see anything that glows like that, you just wanna get close to it, because no matter if it's an enemy, if it's a chest, right, if it's whatever it is, that's always gonna give you some Azerite. That's kind of guaranteed, right? So yeah. Even that gold, I think it was enchanted with like Azerite, right? Because it gave me like 600, which is like really crazy to get on one enemy. But yeah, I'm also level 86 on this character, so I do have the Midnight expansion, but if you didn't have it, it would be completely fine, right? In fact, I don't even have any items that are really about current Midnight content, right? These are basically old items already, most of them, from the previous expansion, and I'm using this just because they are giving me move speed, which is extra move speed, which is more efficient for running this type of farms. So you can see that that is going up really, really well. You're technically competing with the Alliance. Now, the Alliance are not really other players, they are NPCs. So for the most part, you can often ignore them and you just generate more Azerite on them. But sometimes they will have some stuff, right? Like sometimes they will have some Azerite extractor. For example, you can see here it says Horde Azerite extractor because I already took it. But sometimes you want to be careful because the alliance takes it and then they might be able to compete with you, right? Because it doesn't really matter if they are doing some Azerite, like doesn't really matter for us. The only issue that you might have is that they actually collect all the Azerite faster than you, right? But generally speaking, as long as you are active, I think it's really, really hard to get in a situation like that, right? And if you do, you just open them up and check for like, you know, this thing or Azerite extractor, and you're also gonna look for the alliance boat, right? Because the enemies are gonna be usually very close to the alliance boat, right? You cannot really get into the boat. You just wanna wait and look outside, right? And so, for example, we appeared on this boat, and the alliance are gonna be appearing on this boat, right? So if you see that a lot of the alliance, you know, they are doing really well, they are basically maybe out competing you. You just come around here and start killing mobs, and you're gonna start killing alliance mobs as well, right? But yeah, they are NPC. They are not even gonna be your level. They are gonna be like really low level. You're gonna instantly kill them, so gonna be fine. For the most part, as long as you are active farming and you're not really like, you don't go, let's say, to the bathroom or whatever, you don't take a small break while doing it, I think it's almost impossible that they outcompete you, right? So for the most part, you don't really have to ever worry about it, but you know, just that in case that ever happens to you, that's what you can do, right? But yeah, mostly the only way that they're gonna, I mean, not really outcompete you, but you know, get close enough that it makes you a bit worried about is basically when they take these things, right? The Azerite extractor. So I think you will be notified on the chat when like anybody takes the extractor, right? So you don't have to be really looking at it. You just playing and be paying a bit of attention. And that's it. But as you can see, it's been just a few minutes and we are almost finished here. And yeah. There are some items that you can get in here, but for the most part, I don't really bother getting them because these are active items that they are just gonna, you know, do damage or stun the enemy. So yeah. If you don't really know, you can just click the item, you know, it's completely fine. And eventually you will get to know what items are giving you Azerite and what not, right? But long story short, they are, look, it says the Alliance has destroyed an Azerite structure, but like, it doesn't even bother me, right? Because we have already finished almost, right? So yeah, you know, the main items that are going to be dropping the Azerite are going to be the chests, also the mining veins, the thing that looks like a little buildings. Little rocks, basically. Well, big rocks actually, or little buildings. That's pretty much it, right? So as you can see, once we have finished, we get one of these sack of plunders. Now we can leave the island. And what this is going to give us, this is going to give us a number between 9 and 12 of the currency that we need for the salvages. And then we can get transmog items this way, right? So there is usually two vendors. You want to be careful because one of the vendors is not actually giving you stuff that you can sell, right? So for example, this one is kind of a bit tricky, right? This gives you like some, you know, some boots, some whatever, but you cannot sell any of this, right? The only way to make gold with this is you want to find the other vendor. There are usually two. And, you know, the one that has the salvage items, right? So about the salvage items, first of all, the green ones are not really good from what I have seen, right? Personal experience. What I have investigated a bit on the internet as well. So the green ones, generally speaking, they are bad, okay? Now, the other ones, right? The purple ones. The purple ones are not as good as you might imagine. They are not gonna drop you, for the most part, any epic items, any purple items. They're gonna keep dropping you blue items. They're just gonna have higher frequency than the blue ones, and they are also gonna, well, technically, you know, they will give you some items that maybe they are dropping less and so on. But from what I have seen, they don't really give you items that make a difference, right? Like, for example, the items that I have shown you, you can get them, or at least most of them, not sure if all of them, but really most of them. You can get them on these blue savages, right? So for the most part, I think I would just skip the purple one and the green one completely, and I would just focus on the blue ones, right? The only thing I would change is that if you're really farming a lot of this, at some point try to start getting some purple ones, just so you have like bit of variety on the items, right? And the green ones, I think I would just discard them, because generally speaking, they are just giving you very bad loot, right? So yeah. Now, something that you need to know is that the type of salvages that you can find, they are gonna vary depending of like the week, depending of a few things. So it's gonna be a bit random, right? Sometimes you are not even gonna be able to see these purple ones, but I think the blue ones, there's almost always gonna be at least one, right? At least I have not ever found a situation where there's not a blue, right? So you just take the blue. The blues are also varying from time to time, so they can give you different loot. I'm just saying this because, for example, this item, almost any item really, right? Some of the items are shared between the different salvages, but some of the items are not shared, right? So you, for example, you have the plundered, this one, the plundered blade of Northern Kings, which you can see looks absolutely amazing. And this one, it can drop from a variety of the salvages, but not from all of them, right? So you might be just farming constantly a certain type of savage, and you might be like, why is it never dropping, right? Well, maybe it's because it doesn't drop it, right? So, you're just gonna be aware of that, and, basically don't be mad about it if you're just looking for a specific item, because you might just not get it, right? Until the next week, and, these savages are gonna vary. They're on a rotation. They're always gonna... There's like 4 or 5, I think. Maybe more, yeah. There's like 5 or 6 of these savages actually that you can get to see for like each type, for like the blue ones basically. Yeah. But yeah, you can see I already have as of now 19, and well, I have already done a previous one, but as you can see, they are relatively fast to do, right? You just keep getting between 9 and 12 every time you do one of the Mythic Island expeditions, right? And actually, I have a bit more because I forgot to open this one. You see, they give me 11. You can do this as many times as you want. As you can see, really easy to do. Yeah, this is really good fun. Really good fun. If you're looking to stock up on valuable transmog items, you wanna surely farm some of this, right? So yeah, that's pretty much the video, guys. I hope you found this video useful. Don't forget to consider leaving a like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. And I hope you have a good day. I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.